Okay, so I'm going to show you how to trace out your giant letter for the 3D architectural letters. I have my different types of R's right here that I'm looking at. But what we want to make sure is that our letters are thick enough that we can get a Dixie cup in them. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But first I'm going to decide what R I want to do. And these are all kind of loopy, so I might just kind of do a variation. I'm going to start by just drawing a regular R, not doing any type of block lettering. Okay, something like this. What I want to make sure is that we're able to fit these Dixie cups, which this one is a little bit bigger than the one you're actually going to be using in class. But I'm doing this for my kitchen table. Hello Kids Toys. And I forgot to bring a regular Dixie cup home. So I'm using this as example as a stand-in. So what I want to do now is make it fatter. I'm going to kind of just put my Dixie cup on here so that I have a reference that my letter needs to be about this wide, so that I'll be able to use the Dixie cup as support. We can go skinnier, but then we're going to run into having to cut our Dixie cups in half, which is fine. It's doable. We can do that. It's not a big deal, especially if you want to do a letter that's more like one of these brush scripts that are really popular where there's fat areas and skinny areas. They're beautiful letters, but just so you're aware, you want to have a good amount that will be able to be this thick so that it's nice and strong. So basically I'm just going to start by kind of using this cup as an outline of how thick I need most of my R to be. So I can see that the cup is going to fit in there fine. I'm just going to move up, kind of putting the cup in the center of my original R. Now I'm coming here to the corner, and I'm gonna have to kind of change my design a little bit because I'm running out of room at the top. So still kind of using that cup as guidelines. And look, my pencil is super sketchy here. I'm not making one final line. You'll be able to tell when you're cutting where your final line is, or you can even go over it in a different color. Okay, if you do your letter on this way of this paper, so the short way, it will be the correct dimensions. I think I said 14 inches. If you have a tall letter and you want to flip this paper the other direction, go for it. Whatever you want to do, but we need to be at least this big. So that's why I gave you this big of paper. Okay, so I'm bringing my cup around, doing kind of a rough sketch. And again, if I get some places that are skinnier, or I purposely want a skinnier area, that's fine. We'll just have to cut my letter or my cup in half. Okay, so basically I'm just doing this big part of the letter first. So basically a letter P. And remember, your letter needs to stand up on its own. So the P, like I said, would be hard. You'd have to figure out how to add some type of stabilizer. So now kind of changing up my shape a little bit, which is fine. Okay, going through, making sure that it's pretty thick. I'm actually going to bring it kind of up here so I get a little tail on the R. Okay, then I'm just going to kind of go through with my cup and make sure that my lines are thick enough so my whole cup will fit within the letter. just broke. Okay, so I have my letter drawn out. If you didn't have a broken pencil like I just broke mine, my goodness. Okay, good thing I'm an art teacher and have random. Oh gosh, okay, so this isn't working either. It's been a good day, people. What you want to do is trace out your letter now, maybe on a final version with something thicker than your pencil, so you can kind of see where that final line for cutting is going to be. So I'm just using a pen because everything else is failing me today, as is this pen. And I'm just going to go around so I really know where I'm going to cut, so I don't make any major mistakes. So my letter should stand on its own because I have a good base here, and I kind of did a wider base right here. Okay, so I have my one letter. The next step, which I will show you, is stapling these two pieces of paper together. And then we are going to cut out our letter so that we just have a letter, but we have two exact copies of it.